Ladies and gentlemen, one of the most viral moments in the world of chess has just happened, and I will be breaking it down for you in this video. I'm going to take you through some of the reactions, some of the behind the scenes of people in the chess world, of people outside of the chess world, and what an event like USA versus India means for the future. So if you click on this video and you were following the event, I hope you still get something out of it. If you click on this video and you're not really involved too much in the world of chess, that's okay. Hopefully you have an interesting perspective. And as always, I'm going to give a balanced and fair opinion. Let's explain what happened. October the 4th, 2025, there was an event in Dallas, Arlington, Texas. Team USA versus Team India. 5 versus 5. Just one game. Team USA has white on every single board. The reason Team USA has white on every board is because Team USA is the home team. This event was built to completely turn on its head everything you know about chess. 1,000 live fans, all screaming, all able to interact with the players up on the stage. It was supposed to mirror a sports atmosphere. And in a sports atmosphere, you do have a home field advantage. But there's supposed to be a rematch. The rematch would be in India. And Team India would then have white on every single board. So it balances out in the end. 10-minute games, and then if it's a draw, you play 5-minute, etc. Now, the point was we were supposed to be theatrical. We were supposed to put on a show, and I did. I played against Sagar Shah from Chess Base India. Anybody in India watching this right now, you of course know about Sagar Shah. And I was hyping up the crowd. I mean, you should look at the clip. Like, they were cheering for Sagar. I was telling them to cheer louder. They would cheer for me. I would interact with them. They would say, "I love you, Levy." I would give them hearts. Like, the whole thing was a total exhibition. But one moment in particular has blown up tens, if not hundreds of millions of views, reactions, some spicy, some not. First, I'm going to show it to you, and then we will talk about it. Of course, I am talking about this. Okay? Hikaru defeating Gukesh and doing this. So, Hikaru was the last game against Gukesh. He won the game, and then he took Gukesh's king and threw it into the crowd. He reached over the table, grabbed the king, threw it into the crowd, walked off to celebrate with his team, and then Gukesh sat there, you know, calm and respectful like he always is, and set up the pieces. Now, this has caused, and this clip obviously went viral, quite a strong reaction. It is very unnatural. It is obviously disrespectful and pretty crazy in a traditional chess environment to reach over, grab your opponent's king, and throw it into the crowd. I literally don't think that has ever happened in a traditional chess setting. But this was not a traditional chess setting. Shout out to my jersey, by the way. It looks really nice. And the organizers for making that. This was an exhibition. We were told to do this. So now I'm going to take you a little bit behind the scenes, then talk about reactions and what this means moving forward. All right. So, first things first, here's a behind the scenes vlog from Chess Base India, who are just awesome. They do so much stuff. Why did it go back to me? No, let's go back here. And this is a behind the scenes with everybody there. Like, Team India was present with us live on stage. And this was a behind the scenes briefing. And right around here, we start discussing how we're going to celebrate, how you should celebrate in this event.
Interesting.
I should have, when everybody was here, I should have showed something. When you checkmate your opponent, you should topple the king, the opponent's king, or you capture the king and you show it to everybody.
When you checkmate your opponent, you topple their king or pick it up and show it to everybody. We then kept talking a little bit and discussing. And you see right here, Hikaru goes.
Yeah, it's a little bit disappointing, yeah. I'll just take the king and throw it into the crowd.
Says, "I'll take the king and throw it into the crowd." And the point was, there are only 2 chess sets live at the venue. So the point was, we should be theatrical. We then had a technical meeting the night before the event on October the 3rd. And in that technical meeting, we were encouraged not just to do this, We were told there would be open live microphones as we were playing. The audience could hear us and we should talk trash to each other a little bit. That's what we should do. You'll notice during the event, I'm literally interacting with the crowd. When I played my game against Sagar Shah, I asked the crowd if I should make a draw. They booed. I made the draw anyway, and then we played speed chess. Of course, the whole thing is crazy. Like, it's completely not normal. And I will just say this, at the technical meeting, when they were telling us all of this, Gukesh sat there and was like, do I have to do this? I don't really want to do this. Obviously not. I mean, the whole thing is totally different and out of the ordinary. And I'm going to play you Vidit Gujrati, who summarized things quite well. Let me replay this. This was on Reddit.
Everyone has seen this Hikaru Gukesh clip, right? But it was part of an exhibition match where some theatrics were actually encouraged to make it more entertaining, more WWE style. In fact, when I was in US last year, I played an exhibition match with Hans Niemann, and they literally told me, talk some trash, make it like boxing. So I understand the context, but I also understand why it feels off to so many people. In India, our work, we treat it like worship, and chess is not just a game, it means something more. So for me personally, it would be impossible to do something like this. But in West, things are more casual, it's just game, and this is all part of the plan to make it more entertaining.
That's really what it all comes down to. Shout out to Vidit for a very reasonable, rational opinion of the whole thing. And I will just continue along in the video. Here's, for example, Daniel Negreanu, poker superstar, and obviously based in the West. I mean, I don't know where he lives. I think he lives in California. Says, I kind of love the chess WWE crossover here. What would be the poker equivalent? But important context, players were encouraged to add theatrics to the show. And we're going to get into a tweet here from, I believe, somebody who's based in India, but I don't know. I mean, we're going to talk about it. So, I mean, essentially, you have a massive clash of two things. You have a clash of traditional perspective and perception of the game of chess. It is I see this, it's a regal game, it's a royal game with very different mannerisms and etiquette and history, right, on the one hand. And then you have this modern WWE, like TV style, making it more appropriate. But also you have a clash of cultures. And like we live in 2025 where it's weird to talk about some of this stuff. Like some people get very offended when but to me, it's very clear. I mean, I grew up in New York City. I grew up in a place in New York City where over 100 countries are represented. Queens, Astoria, Jackson Heights. It's like the most diverse group of people all together anywhere in the world, I think. And I get it. Like cultures are different. And there was no, there was no bigger spotlight on this than in the technical meeting when they were telling Team India and Team USA what to do. And you could tell that Gukesh, Sagar, Divya were like, do we have to do this stuff? Like, it's a bit ridiculous. And us, the stupid Americans, were like, yeah, throw the king, yeah. And that's just how it is, That's the way that we were briefed on the event. And it just so happened that Hikaru won. Had Gukesh defeated Hikaru, I don't think he would have thrown his king into the crowd. Maybe he would have done something. But also at the same time, we won 5-0. Like, if Team India was winning in the last game 3-2, maybe Gukesh would have celebrated, right? So time and place and all that, it counts for something. Now, let's move on. I got back to my hotel room, and the first thing that I saw, it was like 2:45 in the morning, and the first thing that I saw was this post. I actually responded to it, and it says, a grown man tossing his opponent's king who's half his age into the crowd. Real classy, Hikaru. The hate Magnus and Hikaru have for India's Gukesh is just unreal. It was 2:45 a.m., and I was like, uh-oh. Right away, I was like, this is not good. Like, this is, if this is going to start happening, like the Magnus table slam, and it's going to take like a racial angle and everything. So I responded. I said, both teams were briefed that theatrics were encouraged and throwing kings, knocking them over at such that the crowd was okay. It just so happened Hikaru won, and pretty sure he even spoke to and apologized to Gukesh backstage saying it was all for show. And that is true. I don't know if it's on video, but they went backstage and Hikaru was like, hey man, I wouldn't do that in a normal setting. I'm just playing up to the crowd. As you saw in this video, he literally said that he was going to do that, right? So that happens, right? Now I respond, and I'm not really in the business of putting Twitter trolls into a YouTube video, but dude responded to me and said, I realize your career depends on handouts from Hikaru and Magnus, but condoning racism. Come on, Levy, be better. All right, let's talk about this. Because the thing is, This video is going to get watched by a lot of people in the US. This video is going to be watched by a lot of people in India. This video is going to be watched by a lot of people in Europe, in Asia, in Africa, maybe in South America, maybe in, did I forget a continent? All right, whatever. All of you around the world, penguins might be watching this somewhere on the poles. Let me be very clear, okay? This had absolutely nothing to do with race, ethnicity, Gukesh being a person from India. It just so happened that Hikaru was playing against Gukesh, and it was the last matchup. That was it. And as you see from some of this context, we were told to do stuff like this. Now, let's back up. If you just see this clip on your social media, if you know nothing about this tournament, of course, I get it. This looks insane. Why would a player ever do this? This is an insane level of disrespect. Like, I mean, if somebody did this to me unprompted, I would be like, what the like, but you can see here, 170 heart rate from Hikaru to clinch the victory with seconds on the clock, and he just decides, yo, I'm hyped up, like, let me throw the king. But yeah, like, out of context, I totally understand if anybody, and in particular, people from India who have the youngest world champion ever, a humble, calm, respectful young man who literally would never do this. I don't think there is an amount of money you can offer Gukesh to throw a king after a chess match into the crowd. I get it. I understand. So if you're one of those people, you're watching this going, that was insanely disrespectful, etc. I get it without the context. And even with the context, maybe the context doesn't even matter to you. You're like, I don't want this to, this is not what chess should be. It was disrespectful. Hikaru is double his age. Gukesh is nothing but respectful to these people. I get it. So don't be mad at me. I didn't throw the king, okay? Don't be mad. I didn't tell anybody to throw the king, and I didn't throw the king. I'm trying to show you it's just different worlds. It's just different worlds. America eats this stuff up. We got WWE out here. We got wrestling. We got fighting. We got all the people love this stuff. They throw stuff into the crowd all the time. It's just how people, it's just what, it's normal. Here it's normal. And that's okay. And that's okay. I mean, provided you're not punching the guy in the face and whatever. And maybe you think it's not okay. But the epilogue to this is there will be a rematch. This builds a very nice story for a rematch in India in later 2026, where India will have white on every board and people will be cheering for India. Now, I just want to say, people in the crowd live, they loved it. People there at the event, more than half were Indian, but in the US, they moved. They lived in Dallas, they lived in Texas, they lived in surrounding areas. They were cheering USA, India. They were cheering, I guess, in Hindi, like when Sagar was playing, or another language. I don't know. There's a lot of languages in India, but they were cheering for the players too. It was great. Like, people had an awesome time. Nobody was like, oh, that was crazy, disrespectful. You know, it's sort of, but if you see it out of context at home, I totally understand. Now, I will just say this. People are using this clip and they are starting to say it's about race. It's India versus the world. The world is filled right now with so much hatred on social media because they know it stirs the pot. They know it's what's good for the algorithm. Look, that tweet by that guy of the mockery of the game, it has 4 million impressions. This morning, he posted about a drink that he likes, and it had 2,000 impressions or something. 2,000, I don't know, like some. That's the point. They're trying to get this reaction out of people. And when you make it about a sensitive subject, like race, like your nationality, like your pride, right? That's gonna make people angrier and get them stirred up. But it has nothing to do with that. Like, Hikaru could have been playing me. You know, and if the rules were you got to throw the king into the crowd, he would have done the same thing. So I think multiple things can be true at once. That's basically my point. Please don't get in this whole thing about, like, it's because Gukesh is an Indian and no. Now you have a little bit of context, you have a little bit of behind the scenes, but I am acknowledging the fact that it's a disrespectful gesture. At the same time, it's kind of the point. They're playing into the ridiculousness of it, the sportiness of it, the TV stuff of it, and the point is to make it go viral and hit a general audience. That's kind of what happened. Now, this is outside of the chess world. okay? This is outside of the chess world. I will just say one more thing. And I almost touched on this. The world is filled with much more serious racism in 2025. Much more serious. I mean, I receive it. And at the same time, for people of India, you go on social media. I mean, people take any and all opportunities to attack many people, but especially people in India. I am acknowledging that. But this is not one of those examples. I mean, I see all these people, they go to somewhere, you know, in India on social media, they order from a street food vendor who's just trying to make a living, and they try to make a point or something like that. And it's just, like, I get it. Like, I hear it and I see it, and this stuff is like, that's actual racism. This is not, I would argue, please let's separate a very serious issue and a chess game. But I'm kind of preaching, you know, I don't think I'm going to change anybody's mind in particular with this video. Like, if you've made up your mind on what happened in this clip, I'm not sure I'm going to change your mind, but I'm trying. So, here we go. Okay. Here's another little moment here. Let's transition to the chess world. People in the world of chess, specifically, I will just put up a couple of the viral posts. Kevin Go, accomplished Singaporean grandmaster, multiple-time champion, also helped put on the World Chess Championship there. He said, if the future of chess is one where it's acceptable behavior to toss opponents' pieces into the crowd, I'm not sure I want anything to do with it. This is a great soundbite. Like, it's a really good, well-written sentence, which is, again, why it has 1.2 million views. It's generating a lot of, you know, engagement. Anish Giri retweeted it, said, I'm Team Hikaru here. Organizers probably tried an experimental event, not pretending that this is the only way chess should be played in the future, but just try to have some fun. Hikaru was just playing along and did something funky for the memes. Don't see the big deal. He wasn't playing along. I mean, he quite literally did almost what he was instructed to do on the dot, and he was okay with it, whereas maybe some of the Indian players were not. And that's, like I said 100 times in this video, it's obviously not the future of chess, is what he said, and so on and so forth. Now, I just want to quickly point out, Kevin also, yeah, like, look at the difference between the social media algorithm when you write something fast and, like, angry sounding. If the future of chess is acceptable behavior, I'm not sure I want anything to do with it. 1.2 million views. You write something where there's a lot of context, there's a lot of nuance, 16,000 impressions in 12 hours. 13 hours. I've been speaking to someone who's heavily involved in the event. From what I'm told, lots of people worked their asses off to make this event a success. Like, this was a very more, you know, it's kind of like Hikaru's an ambassador of the game, and, you know, throwing the king into the crowd is not, like, really what you should be doing. This is a much more nuanced chess-specific conversation where a lot of people probably would have left the video at this point because they just wanted to sort of see the general reaction. Yeah, I understand. Like, first of all, speeding up the game, right? From classical chess to 45-minute chess or 90-minute chess with just one time control, as opposed to a classical candidates format, which is 7 hours per game. I understand you're sacrificing the quality, you know? But if there's an opportunity to attract a big sponsor like a Tag, I don't know, I don't have my watch on right now, but Tag Heuer sponsored that event. Tag, one of the biggest, most famous watch companies in the world. Every team member of the winning team received a watch. It's a sexy watch. I should have worn it for this video. But if you want these brands, you can't have a 7-hour show. Like, you need something that can be on TV. And speeding up the game is inherently messing with its quality. Throwing kings into the crowd in a 10-minute game with a live audience is inherently messing with its quality. So you have to find, are you going exhibition mode or are you going classical mode? And how are you going to... So I get it. Like, Kevin's point is well taken. My point there is that the first thing got 1.2 million impressions, and this one, which is very well written and eloquent, got 16,000. And the point is, the social media algorithm is designed to piss you the off, okay? It's designed. That's the point. So just, like, when you see something like this, look for more context. Don't get so angry right away. Don't have a reaction, whether it's somebody throwing a chess piece into the crowd or just, like, any issue that you feel strongly about, okay? Do a little more research before you have a knee-jerk reaction. Now, we will end the video, as always, with one man. A man who I think he just can't help himself, and that is Emil Sutovsky, the CEO of FIDE. You know, I really want to stop making content about Emil, and he just provides more of it. And the thing is, I don't cover all his tweets, but he wrote, the event was a show, fans were ecstatic, players were encouraged to behave accordingly. Now, for better or worse, name me one top player who would do what Hikaru did. I mean, this is a, like, I don't even know where to begin with this. First of all, Magnus would have done the same. I'm not going to speak for the top players. They can disagree with me. Magnus, maybe Giri. Like, if you have a big enough exhibition event where the crowd is cheering, roaring, you're interacting with them, they're cheering you on, they're booing you, under the right circumstances, many would. Many is my argument. Maybe not. Maybe Hikaru's so bold, he is the only one. Fine. Then Emil is a genius. But it's still, in my opinion, unprofessional for the CEO, the literal number one, number two of the international governing body of the game, who always speaks so highly and talks about the importance of FIDE, to do stuff like this. This should be me. I am the chess content creator. I should be posting hot takes on social media, like Anish Giri, like Kevin Go. This is wild behavior, in my opinion. Maybe Emil disagrees, but I don't know. I don't understand this. Maybe he just knows that this is a good way to generate traffic, and as you see here, 136K, it absolutely is. For the record, Checkmate USA India responded. They said, on behalf of the organizers, we admit having forced the players to have fun, to please the crowd, and to forego the FIDE etiquette. We sincerely apologize if the players, the live audience, and the vast majority of online viewers had a good time. Check this out. This is a page. I should follow them back, by the way. See, this is a page that I didn't even know about until, like, this happened. 1,027 followers. Emil Sutovsky, I don't know, 100-something K. This got 534,000 impressions. It's got 136K. Now you see my point. The algorithm serves to divide, to make people angry, etc. And last but not least, we have this. I woke up to this, and yeah, let's read this and talk about the future. The clash over seemingly minor story embodies a huge difference in perception, and I'll argue it is mostly not generational. It's not East versus West. It's not even about cultural upbringing. Mostly it is about the perception of what chess essentially is. This is completely wrong. Most people are upset with the clip because the action, whether the medium was chess or anything else, was inherently quite disrespectful on the scale from 0 to 10, and it was by a player who is a great rival and who has previously been outspoken on his thoughts on, Gukesh's play and whatever. Like this is, a person double his age, and I mean, Gukesh is the world champion. As Vidit said, your work there's a level of worship there, and it's completely, it's not East versus West, but it is a strong difference in culture and upbringing and values, and that's okay. But this is completely wrong, and nobody is arguing about the perception of chess. I mean, Kevin Go is, but the bigger picture is not that. So, no. I have to admit, both sides lack certain flexibility in this regard. I could go in length explaining how all my knowledge, lifetime devotion, and even piety for chess help me promote the game. However, all these also impact my views, making them less flexible. I recognize it and will keep trying to grasp the broader outlook on our beloved game. That's what I actually do for many years in my position. This is completely not true. I'm sorry, but they, I mean, like, if this was, well, we'll get to that later. Said that, I find it very few balanced opinions on the opposite side of the aisle, and that makes the dialogue and a path to better understanding much more difficult. An exchange of ideas and a serious, even if heated discussion can't be replaced by, that's not the point. That's not the point. This dude called me a racist. Like, we're talking about totally different things. Like it or not, FIDE remains the, okay, now, this comes out of the blue. I'm like, bro, who's even talking about FIDE right now? Like, I don't even know what's going on. Like it or not, FIDE remains the most important player on the global chess map, and that's for a reason. We recognize that in order to remain as relevant, we need to deliver today, but also get adjusted for tomorrow. Not true. They don't do that. And it is happening. No, it's not. But if you want to downgrade chess to just a game, it won't succeed. And not because we won't let you, though we won't. Chess should not survive like that. Chess is a game, and for millions of people, it will remain just in this capacity. But chess is so much more than just a game. Its popularity, you're welcome, by the way, recognition, funding largely come from the unique history and values it promotes. Those who think it's at pass are advised to check the facts and figures. All that does not mean FIDE shall be negligent, ignoring the trends. We may be guardians of chess heritage, but not a button gatekeeper. Those who follow closely know about numerous changes. Very soon, other exciting news will be shared. It's going to be something about like rating decay or a time control. And if not, I will be surprised. I think we are doing well, but we must do better. And there are very few ways to improve than hearing and listening to ideas and opinions of those who disagree with you. then they would have invited content creators to cover the candidates for the last 5 years. But I mean, they only did that in 2024. While not many people on the opposite side will hear me, some will still do. And I'm extending my hand to those in an attempt to... By the way, look, nuanced, detailed, strong post. Twitter's just like, no. Sarcasm, 534,000 impressions. Folks, that's the point of the video. Okay, I mean, again, as always, Emil, I don't know where to even go with this. Here's what I will say. I need like a second. I mean, I couldn't even... I was like, nobody was talking about FIDE. Like, how was this an opportunity, if ever, to start promoting the international governing body of the game? Nobody is denying. I've even said in my videos, I have problems with some of the things that they do and their decisions and the way that like they run chess tournaments specifically. But yeah, I've said a lot. FIDE is very important. Ain't nobody making another international chess federation anytime soon. It's a huge undertaking. All right? And it's tireless. I don't know, really. Yeah, I mean, everybody says I have an ELO. That's a FIDE rating, right? That's not the point. I think they could have done a lot more. I think they could have worked a lot more closely with content creators. I will say they did invite me to play in the World Rapid and Blitz, which is in Christmas in Qatar, which is not some, like, I can't, I'm going to be with my family in America. Like, that's a holiday. I'm not going to, you know. So yeah, like they do try a little bit for sure. And I respect that, but I feel like much more could have been accomplished in the past. Like I really do. And I don't know. I can't help this feeling like they don't get it. They don't actually track as much data as they should and so on and so forth. But this video is not about FIDE. This video is not about FIDE. This video is about USA India, Gukesh. It's about Hikaru. It's about the rematch that's hopefully going to come in 2026 in India. It was a massive undertaking for the people that put on this event. So shout out to the organizers, shout out to the sponsors, shout out to the volunteers. This was a one-day singular show. It went quite smoothly. It had its hiccups. It had its production troubles. It had its logistical things. Shout out to all of Team India who literally flew to America to play 1-2 chess games against us, who were all a part of this. Arjun, Ethan, Divya, Sagar, and Gukesh. Shout out to everybody that watched. Shout out to everybody that was there live. Shout out to the VIP. Shout out to the Patreon. Shout out to all the people that we met. Really, we could not have imagined that chess would ever reach these heights. And if you follow the chess world closely or just at an arm's length, this was a really special event. And we are very fortunate it had such a viral moment because now the rematch will be that much bigger should everybody work together to make it happen. Whether it falls apart due to sponsorship, that's to be determined. But if it's there and the logistics are there, we will play. We will be in India. We will be the villains. Hikaru, I'm sure, will be booed. But you have to understand, we are not villains against each other. We are teammates to make the game of chess bigger and more entertaining. And not all the players around the world all have the same opportunities. Not all the content creators in the world have all the same opportunities. This was a very beautifully written thing by Mr. Sutovsky, but it's a lot of it will remain the exact same, and people will have all their same struggles, and some people will succeed and some people will not. And last but not least, yes, picking up a chess piece at the end of a game and throwing it is basically the most disrespectful thing you could do, probably, after a chess game, other than probably physically assaulting the opponent or spitting at them or something along the lines. But hopefully this context helped. Hopefully the context that Hikaru also spoke to Gukesh afterward helped. The context that Gukesh and many of the other Indian players looked at this like, it's kind of ridiculous, do we have to do this? And my summary of the fact that it's all right to chalk this up to different people raised in different parts of the world with different norms, with different levels of respect and behavior, and that's why the rematch will be in India. And I've already told Sagar Shah he can throw my king if he beats me. He can throw it at my face. I don't think he would do that. I wouldn't like that either. So that's that, folks. All right? The world has many problems. Many right now. Many. and racism. And that's a whole Pandora's box of problems, both systemic and cultural and in socials and in memes and all that. This was a clip, and hopefully with the context I have provided, ultimately it is not as serious as maybe some people made it out to be. And I look forward to playing the rematch in India. So hopefully we'll see you there. And on that note, get out of here.